Canada, a nation often lauded for its stunning landscapes and progressive values, finds itself grappling with a disconcerting reality: declining living standards for a significant portion of its population. The traditional narrative of Canadian prosperity, built on a foundation of economic growth and social mobility, appears increasingly fragile in the face of mounting economic pressures. This video delves into the heart of Canada's economic dilemma, exploring the widening gap between overall economic growth and the lived realities of many Canadians. The Canadian economy on the surface appears robust, boasting consistent GDP growth and a relatively low unemployment rate. Yet beneath these seemingly positive indicators lies a more troubling trend: the steady erosion of living standards for a substantial segment of the population. This paradox, where a growing economy fails to translate into tangible improvements in the lives of ordinary citizens, demands our urgent attention. We must dissect the factors driving this disconnect and explore potential solutions to ensure a more equitable and prosperous future for all Canadians.
Recent economic data paint a perplexing picture of the Canadian economy. While GDP has continued to expand, albeit at a modest pace, real per capita income has stagnated or even declined for many Canadians. This divergence highlights a fundamental challenge: the benefits of economic growth are not being shared equitably across society. One of the primary drivers of this trend is the widening gap between productivity gains and wage growth. While Canadian businesses have become more efficient and productive, these gains have not translated into commensurate increases in wages for workers. This disconnect suggests a power imbalance in the labor market, with employers reaping a larger share of the benefits from increased productivity. Furthermore, the rising cost of living, particularly for essential goods and services like housing, healthcare, and education, has placed immense pressure on household budgets. The affordability crisis in major Canadian cities has reached a tipping point, with many individuals and families struggling to afford basic necessities, let alone save for the future.
To fully grasp the gravity of Canada's current economic predicament, it's crucial to examine it through the lens of history. Over the past 4 decades, Canada has witnessed periods of both economic prosperity and hardship. The early 1980s were marked by a severe recession, followed by a period of robust growth in the 1990s and early 2000s. However, the global financial crisis of 2008 exposed vulnerabilities in the Canadian economy, leading to a period of sluggish growth and rising inequality. Examining these historical trends reveals a recurring pattern. Periods of economic growth have not always translated into shared prosperity. While certain segments of society have benefited disproportionately during boom times, others have been left behind, grappling with stagnant wages, precarious employment, and rising costs. The current economic situation, characterized by GDP growth alongside declining living standards, bears a striking resemblance to these earlier periods of uneven economic progress.
The lack of affordable housing stands as a formidable barrier to achieving economic security and an acceptable standard of living for countless Canadians. In major urban centers across the nation, the dream of owning a home has transformed into a distant aspiration for many, while renters grapple with exorbitant rents that consume a disproportionate share of their income. This crisis is not merely an urban phenomenon, it extends its reach into smaller communities and rural areas as well. Multiple factors have converged to create this perfect storm in the housing market. Supply and demand imbalances, fueled by population growth, urbanization, and speculative investment, have driven up prices at an alarming rate. Furthermore, restrictive zoning regulations and bureaucratic hurdles have stifled the construction of new affordable housing units, further exacerbating the shortage. The consequences of this crisis are far-reaching and profound. Families and individuals are forced to make agonizing choices between paying rent or putting food on the table, while others find themselves priced out of their communities entirely.
The plight of the Canadian worker is characterized by a disheartening trend: stagnant wages struggling to keep pace with the relentless upward march of living costs. While the Canadian economy on the surface boasts a relatively low unemployment rate, the reality for many workers is one of precarious employment, stagnant or declining real wages, and a diminishing sense of financial security. Several factors contribute to this concerning trend. Globalization and automation have led to increased competition from lower-wage countries and a displacement of certain types of jobs, putting downward pressure on wages. Moreover, the decline in unionization rates has weakened the bargaining power of workers, making it more challenging to negotiate for better pay and benefits. The consequences of stagnant wages are significant. Individuals and families find it increasingly difficult to make ends meet, leading to reduced consumer spending, increased reliance on credit, and a decline in overall economic well-being.
Education and innovation, the keys to sustainable growth. In an increasingly competitive global economy, education and innovation are paramount to achieving sustainable economic growth and ensuring a high standard of living for all citizens. Investing in human capital by providing access to quality education and training opportunities equips individuals with the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in a rapidly evolving job market. Simultaneously, fostering a culture of innovation enables businesses to develop new products, processes, and technologies that drive productivity gains and enhance competitiveness. Canada has long prided itself on its well-educated workforce and commitment to social mobility. However, challenges remain in ensuring that all Canadians have equitable access to quality education and training opportunities, regardless of their socioeconomic background or geographic location. Furthermore, the pace of technological advancement and the rise of automation necessitate a renewed focus on lifelong learning and skills development, ensuring that workers can adapt to changing demands and seize new opportunities.
The trade tightrope, balancing global and domestic needs. In today's interconnected world, international trade plays a vital role in shaping economic outcomes. For Canada, a country with a relatively small domestic market, access to global markets is crucial for businesses to grow, innovate, and create jobs. However, navigating the complexities of international trade requires striking a delicate balance between pursuing opportunities in the global marketplace and protecting the interests of domestic industries and workers. Canada has a long history of engagement in international trade, with the United States being its largest trading partner. The North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, and its successor, the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, have had a profound impact on the Canadian economy, leading to increased trade and investment flows between the three countries. However, these agreements have also been subject to criticism for their impact on certain sectors of the Canadian economy, such as manufacturing, and for contributing to job losses in some areas.
Towards a more inclusive prosperity, Canada's economic dilemma, characterized by declining living standards amidst overall economic growth, demands a fundamental shift in our approach to economic policy. We must move beyond a narrow focus on aggregate indicators like GDP and embrace a more holistic understanding of economic well-being that prioritizes inclusivity, sustainability, and shared prosperity. This requires addressing the root causes of inequality, investing in human capital, and creating an economy that works for everyone, not just a select few. One crucial step is to tackle the issue of income and wealth inequality. Progressive taxation policies, coupled with investments in social safety nets and affordable housing, can help ensure that the benefits of economic growth are distributed more equitably.
A call to action rethinking policies for a stronger Canada. Addressing Canada's economic challenges and creating a more equitable and prosperous future requires a collective effort from policymakers, businesses, civil society organizations, and individual citizens. It's time to move beyond the rhetoric of economic growth and engage in a meaningful dialogue about the kind of society we want to build and the values we want to uphold.
We need to rethink our economic policies, challenge the status quo, and demand better from our leaders. Public engagement and civic participation are crucial for holding elected officials accountable and ensuring that policies reflect the needs and aspirations of all Canadians. Engaging in informed debates, participating in the democratic process, and advocating for policies that promote fairness, sustainability, and shared prosperity are essential for shaping a better future. Furthermore, businesses have a responsibility to prioritize the well-being of their employees, communities, and the environment alongside their pursuit of profits. Embracing ethical business practices, promoting diversity and inclusion in the workplace, and investing in sustainable practices are not just good for society. They are also good for business in the long run.